Hello.
Episode 4.
Episode 4
of Two Sheep podcast.
Yeah, you were a little surprised it was number 4.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
They've gone quicker.
Still single digits.
So yeah. We'll do a little.
Oh,
It's 10. It's 2 twos. Okay.
I don't know how to. Okay.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay, you can see the microphone. That's it.
Yeah, the microphone.
So episode 4, and
So
yeah.
we're like, yeah, no plan.
Yeah.
Which is really not very knitterly of us, because knitters
no.
have a plan. Usually sit down with a plan. We were gonna. Oh right, no. Okay, so last time, I think it was last time I talked about finishing, and if anyone follows on Instagram, you saw that I did finish my mitten after a little emergency redo of the tip. It was too short, and I felt like, oh, I'm done. But on the other hand, I can't straighten my fingers out.
Yeah.
So I went ahead and cut it open.
Because you couldn't unweave the end, so you couldn't actually unpick it. You had to actually cut off. The
Yeah,
top.
I couldn't. I had done such a great job weaving in my ends that I couldn't pick them out. That's right.
Yeah.
So that's why I had to.
So
cut
you
it.
did actually an impressive knitting surgery, I personally think.
You thought so?
Yeah.
You were a little nervous. I was
Yeah.
like, I had nothing to lose. I picked up the stitches below before cutting, and so I knew I was secured up till then, and it just ripped out till there. And, And then I already had them. I did it with a circular needle, and I really love that method. If you just pick up consistently the same leg of each V, whichever one it is, they might be twisted. You can sort that out afterwards, but just go through and pick up either the right or the left V of every single stitch in a row. You have it on circular, and then you're golden. I think it's kind of like the equivalent of the safe lifelines, but kind of after the fact. Anyway,
afterthought lifeline.
There's so that's my finished mitt. I like the roll that I wanted there.
Yeah.
I really wanted that side to look like that, and I really wanted this side to look like this.
And it came out great. You didn't follow pattern.
No pattern at all. And I got the nicest compliments on Instagram with that post that I was a little self-conscious about posting, because it is such a kind of patternless mitt. So I really want to say thank you for that support. That was very, very lovely. And I was kind of entertaining the thought of writing down what I had done. I mean, I think most knitters would be able to see what I did from looking at it, but I was kind of thinking about maybe writing down what I did and posting that someplace in case people are interested. And I have to make the other one.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah, you haven't cast on yet. No, but it's a great pattern. I think you got there.
We'll see. So I'll try that. And so that makes me think I do like to knit mittens. I like to knit socks. Scarves are okay sometimes. I'm not a giant scarf person, but
like the scarves, they're so long.
They're long, but I don't. If I'm in the mood, sweaters intrigue me. I love construction. You have to do a lot of knitting to get to the next interesting bit, but I do like doing those. I don't like to knit hats. I did not knit this hat. I bought this hat. Someone did knit it though. It's a hand knit. Tell me the yarn.
Briggs and Little.
Briggs and Little. Okay, we bought it on a recent trip to Canada, and I was so thrilled with it. It really smells good.
It does. You can smell the sheep.
Yeah, it's very sheepy. I love that.
Yeah,
I love that. So I like wearing it because then it's like an aromatic experience. It's weird. I'm like, I can smell the sheep. It's a little small on me, honestly, but it's a nice classic hat, and so that was making us think, oh, as knitters, it's kind of funny that we'll buy knit things that other people knit, because we could, obviously, I could have spent a lot less
ribbing,
and just and knit it myself, but I just don't enjoy hats, so I get to enjoy buying them, which is kind of fabulous. And then I said, oh, what do you have?
And
you bought?
Yeah, we realized I also got that. Yeah. So on that same, the other one fall.
I don't know. One's good though. One's
good.
all I had for mittens, but that's okay.
So on the same recent trip to Canada, I bought these mittens. And they're got a beautiful design.
Very sweet.
Very sweet, and they're so warm.
Yeah.
Look forward to wearing them this winter. And I'm knitting mittens right now. But I don't know. It's another thing. It's true. I'm not likely to cast off. I wouldn't knit these.
No,
I don't think so. And I couldn't knit them.
I know. They're warm and tight.
Yeah.
Okay.
And one thing I could not do is the tension is so tense and tight, and I'm a very loose knitter.
Yeah, for color work.
Yeah, so, and also for mittens, I'm such a loose knitter, that's a little bit awkward. But so, yeah, and the wool is kind of, I don't know, rustic maybe? It's not that the colors are rustic, but the wool seems, it's not scratchy. There's something very strong about the wool, I guess.
What's the word? I don't know.
Yeah, how do you describe them?
It's not a luxury yarn.
No. Yeah.
No, it's not. It's a hardy.
Hardy, yeah.
Hardy? We'll go with hardy.
Yeah, we'll go with hardy. And so I really liked them. And when we looked at them, I was like, oh, I don't know. I mean, I'm a knitter. I could technically knit this.
You hesitate.
Yeah, it's a pretty classic pattern, you know. And so I did hesitate, but ultimately we did get them. And I'm happy we did because I would not knit these. I wouldn't.
We'll take them.
Yeah, we'll wait for a snowstorm.
Yeah, and you can really see that it's hand knit, which I love.
Yeah.
Like, I can appreciate someone else's hand knit. Ooh. Oh, it's in the trunk. But I have an Erin sweater.
That's right.
Yeah. That was a honk. Bring out that sweater in a future podcast. It's heavy, but it's beautiful, and I definitely love knowing someone knit it. It's not something I would knit, but I love wearing it.
Yeah, I would be hesitant to buy something that was machine knit, but it kind of looked homemade. But this, I can really imagine someone knitting it near the area.
Yeah, yours actually had a name tag on it, I think, when you bought it.
Did this one have a name tag?
Yeah.
You bought something else at that place. But yeah, so I like these, and I definitely, the maker, you can really tell there's a maker behind this, which makes them appealing. And then one of my other non-me knits.
Non-me knits.
Non-me knits.
Yeah, it's not the whole episode.
Yeah,
non-me knits. We have a few, but not that many.
Few. I got this. I think this was my first non-me knit.
Love that.
Yes. And this we got last year at the Yarn Crawl. And this was a sample, a yarn shop sample. And they were selling the samples that were knit up in yarn that had since been discontinued. And this was $5, I think. I don't remember. Yeah, but so pretty.
You know, they never even blocked it, which is totally fine. We don't block it either.
I'm not gonna block it.
It's soft.
It's soft and it's really pretty, and
you've worn it a lot.
I have, and samples are always kind of intriguing.
Well, normally you're in the store and you're kind of like, I just want the sample, and here you get to actually buy it. Yeah. New York City Yarn Crawl, very successful.
No, so this was great. And I've worn that a lot this winter, and then so this was last year's Yarn Crawl, and this year's Yarn Crawl just happened this weekend. And they were selling their samples at the same yarn shop. And so I bought this little shawlette.
Shawlette? Oh, is shawlette a word?
Shawlette? Yeah, I think
so.
And it's
beautiful.
Very delicate lace.
$5.
$5?
That's kind of horrible when you think about
the
work and the material.
Samples are already kind of amazing that the people are knitting them. They're going to be in the yarn shop. They're not going to get to wear them.
Yeah. No, but this is really...
Yeah. So... Love the samples.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And it's also another soft one.
Yeah,
like this
this
soft and this one's soft.
Beautiful.
So I really like this wine, but the Yarn Crawl was also great fun this weekend.
Yes, that is not all we brought home. So, just a quick, I guess, happy Yarn Crawl celebration thing, kind of an idea.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we start with the yarn.
Yeah.
Okay. I bought sweater's worth of this brown, which is Ella Ray. Lace merino worsted. I have no idea what that means. It seems.
Yeah, lace and worsted.
I don't understand that. But it's soft. It's got a high twist, and I like the brown. I already posted a picture of it on Instagram next to its little buddy, my very crimped looking piece from Wool Addicts, which is by Lane Yarn, so it's like a sub company or something. I'm going to do some kind of a combo of the two for a sweater.
Yeah, the two colors go nicely together.
I was like, yep, that's it. I have no pattern for it. But, I don't want to skip ahead because we did get books, but I also did pick up a magazine, Noro, and in it I saw a pattern, so I immediately started looking at the shelves, frantic, like, oh, let me get the yarn right now for that. Which I got a Noro yarn. Whoops.
It's kind of tweedy almost.
It's very,
I don't know how to describe it.
It knits up like frosted raspberry something. It frost. It looks like frost on a berry.
Yeah.
If I was naming this, but I'm not. And it's a whole range of raspberries from light, almost white, to a dark,
almost black. There's black in there.
Oh, I wouldn't say black. Oh, that's extraordinarily dark, but I wouldn't say black.
That's true. It's probably dark brown. It's dark brown, white, red.
Super maroon, maybe. Very rich berry.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a sweater. I could find it because I've got it. I'm very much hoping I'm not allergic to the yarn. I don't know if it's allergies, but we've both been very sniffly ever since bringing home all the yarn. This is the project. I'm going to make a few modifications. I'm a big fan of the roll hem like I did with the mittens, so I'm gonna let mine roll up. But I'm interested in this very square, not really square, but flat construction. It's a flat construction. It's not square. There's a lot of nice shaping and short rows, which I get to use, which I'm very happy about.
Yeah.
Then the other thing that I bought, so I got a sweater worth of the Noro and a sweater worth of the brown.
Yeah.
And I got this little guy. I'm going to make some, I don't know, another wool addicts again. Yeah. But it's a chainette.
Chainette, yes, the yarn itself.
Chainette little thing. It's super soft, and I'm going to make some wrist warmers. I have no pattern, so it'll be exactly like my mitten. Let's just see. I already did a start and fail, and I took it off, but I still have it. This is what I kind of had come up with for the idea for the wrist warmer. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's curling. I don't know.
Well, closer is good.
Closer, but
no,
if you
further,
can, but it's quite
know.
Interesting color work in short rows.
Yes, because I combined so that's the other thing I picked up, brushed Surrey, that I was putting in there, and I have my own old brushed Surrey, which I also found little scraps. So I will see how I can play with that because I want to put that in. I want to combine the chainette yarn with the brushed Surrey, but not this way. I found that out not this way.
I think this really, even as a swatch, I don't know, it's very visually interesting, I gotta say.
It is?
Yeah.
But it's much more like weaving, and
Yes.
I have tried weaving.
What it reminds me of, it almost looks like a landscape to me. Not this particular one, but this seems like a landscape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, totally, yes.
Yes.
And then I was like, and I can add water in this.
Right,
Wait, what's happening? What's happening? I'm getting into painting, and while I like it, if I wanted to do that, I would weave it, which, by the way, would be so much easier and quicker.
Yeah.
It would than and figuring out the short rows. I like the movement I made with it and the waves. That was very playful and
even
fun.
Even dimensional movement. It doesn't lie flat.
That started being like, it's not going to be so great to wear. I mean, I could still pick it up if I wanted to and save it, so I shouldn't probably over stretch it out.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go a different direction, so I hope no one's too attached to that example.
Well, you just make something like that and frame it. It's landscape. Well, because it's a landscape. It really doesn't, I can't imagine on a garment. It does seem like,
No, I was going to go for it, but I'm not liking how it lays. I'm not liking it as fabric. So, yes, it seems to be something else. Yeah. And that's okay, because when I'm knitting in my goals, I'm much more of a maker than an artist. I enjoy the making and the problem solving, and I don't mind. And even if the problem solving is either understanding the pattern or making what in my head I want to make, but I view that as making. And I'm starting to knit up some landscape concept thing that's going into a different realm.
Yeah.
Than where I even find satisfaction. So I let that one rest. And then I did pick up, because I couldn't resist, after the mitten that I enjoyed knitting with so much, I picked up another random Noro color combo. I haven't wound it. That'll be interesting to see how different it looks once
in a cake.
Because this is kind of hard for me. It's so color blocked this way.
Yes.
The different layers. But don't know what this project will be. I don't know yet. But I just didn't want to leave the store with
color, full of color.
Full of color. I will actually be curious to see how that looks out. Yeah. But in case that inspires something. But I don't know.
I wonder, like stripes. I wonder how it'll knit up.
Exactly. Yeah, because I didn't expect this knit. It's very, very subtle, but there are kind of color sections that it goes up to. That's a pretty clear line right there. But we'll see. And I don't know. I don't have no idea yet.
Yeah.
Okay, on to you.
Okay,
you were
so
much more restrained than
I was. I bought yarn for 2 shawls. So I guess I'll show
You have a pattern for, pretty much a pattern
yes,
for both.
yeah. So this is going to be one shawl. It's going to be a pattern by Hey Mama Wolf, I think. Mama Wolf.
Okay, Hey Mama Wolf.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
And so, yeah, it's a bit of a color block shawl, I guess. So I liked all these colors.
Where did you find the pattern?
Ravelry.
Oh, okay.
Of course, Ravelry.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
We do have the phone
Ravelry.
out when we're in the store.
Yes, you can't shop for yarn without.
Well, you do Ravelry. I much
Yeah.
more. I stick with Knitbot. Like, how much should I get?
Not Knitbot, Stashbot.
Oh, right. That's her book.
Yeah, one of her books.
Okay, right. Stashbot,
By Hannah Fettig.
the app, which is fantastic for you never buying too little yarn.
Yeah.
I don't tend to trust her. I always add more yarn. So it is not saving me, as originally advertised, the problem of having too much yarn. I still have too much yarn,
Yeah.
but I won't have too little.
Yeah, it calculates the amount of yarn you need for a project.
Yeah, it like estimates. It says, well, if you're knitting a sweater of about this circumference, and it's about this sort of a shape.
Yeah, with this gauge.
With this kind of a yarn that does this many stitches per inch. And it also does metric, I believe. Yeah, you can switch it. This is how many yards, these are how many yards you will need.
Yeah.
And that helps the insecure knitter in me of like, I don't know, and then I throw in an extra skein or I just round up.
Right, because you tend to buy yarn without having a pattern in mind first, and I like to stick to having a pattern first.
Yes, so I don't even know.
Right, that's why you really need
the approximate.
Because I really need the pattern, because that tells me the amount.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true, because I bought yarn thing. I'm going to make a cardigan, but...
Yeah. What will it be? But yeah, so I'm looking forward to working with these. I don't think I'm going to work with them first, though. I'm going to work with the yarn that I bought, the other yarn that I got, which is also a shawl. And this will be the main shawl, and it'll be an Elizabeth Zimmerman circular shawl.
I have felt in my mouth, or fiber. I have
a true knitter.
Fiber hair. You're right. Okay, sorry.
And so that's, what would you say, heathered?
Yeah.
It's got a couple, I'm not sure if you can see, it's mainly purple.
I think that shows up.
Yeah. And then this little mini skein by, here's a unicorn tails.
I thought that's just the name of it.
Oh, it's...
Oh, no, that is the company.
But it's also Madeline Tosh. Maybe it's like a sub-company.
Oh, that's confusing. I see it's... The color is Celadon. It says unicorn tails.
Yeah, but all the mini skeins have unicorn tails.
That's her mini skein.
Maybe that's what she calls them. Okay.
And that's for...
And that's for this. I'm just going to put this in. It's a nice kind of icy blue, I would say. Bluey gray. Or green. Bluey gray green. And I'm not sure. It's going to get big, the shawl, so this might only last a row, but just one little stripe. I really liked the two of them together.
Beautiful. And the pattern for that?
And the pattern for that is in a book that we bought there, because the yarn shop we went to was having...
We should say, we went to Annie's.
We went to Annie's.
In New York City.
In New York City, East Side.
Yeah.
They said, fill a bag of books, and you can have the whole bag for $5.
A bag with books.
A bag with
books. They hand you
yes.
a bag and they said, stuff it full. The bag will cost you $5.
Yeah, all of them. So we went hunting on their bookshelves.
You were very good. I was a
Yeah.
little overwhelmed, and I was picking up some real toads and kept putting them back like
Yeah.
that.
No, when I was at the other end of the yarn shop, I was looking at some. I'm like, no, this one won't be good for us. But I was flipping through a lot of them.
Well, you
but yeah, so
beautifully.
I made a little stack, and then you looked through them and told me what you thought.
Stack.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be clear, it came home.
Yeah.
With a few books, but more on that in a moment.
But yeah.
Okay.
But so one of the books that I was lucky enough to find in the stack was The Knitter's Almanac by Elizabeth Zimmerman. And is the bookmark into the page?
Oh, might be on something I was looking at.
Yeah, okay, hold on.
Sorry.
I'll find it quickly. But one of her chapters was for a circular shawl, and that completely intrigued me. Yeah. And we went to the yarn shop the second day also. We went back. And so that when we went back
after having bought the book,
I bought the yarn for the circular shawls, and I'm very excited.
Yeah, I think the kind of the rule for any of the books we picked were, can you find one pattern in there you like? Because if it's $5 for the bag of books, and we figured out the first day we spent like 65 cents per per book.
Yeah, basically.
That's much less than a pattern.
Yeah.
Online typically goes for, and it's certainly valuable. So so if you can find one pattern in there that you like, let's take the book.
Let's take the book. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
So it's in her July chapter.
Oh, so she does it by the month.
Yeah, the almanac. So basing it month by month, and it was this. Where's the camera? This great circular shawl pattern, and I think I'll knit something like the blue one there. Something like that. But like all Elizabeth Zimmerman's patterns, I think. I haven't actually knit one of her patterns before. It's kind of open to interpretation, so I'll mess with it a little bit, but I'm really excited to
and you've been reading. Is that the one you've been reading?
Yeah, I read the whole chapter.
Like, there's a lot of
she writes
narration.
a whole chapter on it. Yeah, and it was very interesting. And so I think that'll be my next big project once I finish the Carbeth sweater. Yeah.
My so my books, my stack was a little smaller than yours in books, but it included the Noro, and then mostly books that were going to help me look at deconstruct sweater construction, just different ideas of how to do it. So, but some of them are funny, some of them are old. Yeah, that's a nice dated piece there.
Yeah, I looked. It said copyright 1972, I think.
Oh, older than me. Yeah, the others aren't that old, but
no,
they're all just old enough to be a little off and a little interesting.
Yeah, so definitely. Like, yeah, no, none of them were current.
Yeah,
but they were all interesting.
No. Yeah. This one, I think it says it was originally $7.49 or something, but that must have been worth more at the time. Yeah. Yeah. Inside it says $6.95. You're not going to get a hardcover knitting book these days. A new one.
Yeah,
a new one. Not this fabulous blast from the past, but a new one is not going to cost you $7.
Yeah. So that was a bit of a hunting treasure trove situation.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. Another pattern that I've got yarn for. I had the yarn for. This never happens when you already have the yarn for a pattern. Most of the time it's like, but so this one I'm gonna take your yarn actually that you were knitting.
One. Right.
And this is gonna be the circular shawl, and this I want to knit soon.
Ooh, that's a hard. I think that shows actually. I didn't think the black and white photo would come through. It's very nice.
It's an Erica Knight's book, Classic Knits.
Okay, so that's not really so old. That's not a very dated one. No.
I mean, it's not in the last year, but no, it's not too old. It's called tank top, but it seems like a vest to me.
Oh, she'd wear it as a vest.
Yeah,
but it's really.
But so this is another one I want to knit.
Nice piece.
Too. Yeah, I like that.
In the meantime, you're on Carbeth.
Yeah. Sorry. I finished the sleeves, which I was working on for the last few podcasts. And I brought it over here. And just last night, oopsie, getting the yarn all tangled up in something else. Just last night, I cast on the body. Yay. And it's been smooth sailing.
Yeah. Actually, you've been itching. There's everything else you have to do during the day, and you're saying, I want to knit.
Yeah. So it's been enjoyable so far, and I'm looking forward to seeing it grow. Yeah. But yeah, I've been glued to this one. You are
finally united with it, even though we just loaded up
on yarn.
Yes, with supplies for distractions. Yeah. Like I said, I haven't gotten anything off the needles from our first, the last time we went over our whips, other than one scarf
and the mittens.
And the mittens. Yeah. Okay, and the mittens. But I didn't hesitate to cast on 2 projects right away.
Yeah.
No apologies.
No.
Yeah. And I was thinking, I wouldn't. Oh, you're knitting right now.
Well, now that I've got it in my hand.
I was like, what's happening over there?
I'll put it down.
Yeah, that's going to distract me. I was thinking about, this week in general, I was thinking about the speed of knitting these days with people. Little pressure maybe from social media to post something new with your progress. I'm blown away. I hear someone did a sweater in 10 days.
And it was like a small needle. It wasn't bulky.
Yeah, no, it was
an
intense, project, and recognizing that is amazing, and I love seeing the photos, so I definitely benefit and appreciate from all that, so I'm sorry to be part of the hungry audience, but I was just wondering how knitters feel if they feel like there's a dangerous fine line between sharing and progressing and enjoying all that community and a certain amount of kind of pressure suddenly, like,
you're right.
you got to do it. You've got to complete
right.
it. And
if you show it on social media, then you got to show the next step also.
Yes, but that I find helpful because it gets me a little help to like, okay, I am going to just clear that out and move on to the next thing. But I also want to recognize knitting is, for me, a slow process, a moment to breathe and be calm. And so I do find I have to override any inclination to feel pressure or something.
Right.
I mean, all knitting's gotten faster because we can share what we make so quickly with so many people.
Yeah.
And Ravelry, you can find so many patterns so easily, so fast.
And there's an instant community of knitters right there at your...
Yes, communicating with you. But the access to so much at once, which is very stimulating, but also, like, for me, overwhelming. So I kind of like the books.
Yeah.
I always say the internet, for me, my problem is that it is like the world's best magazine that has no last page. You will never hit the bottom of it, the back of it, the end, where you say, now I'm satisfied and can go to bed. So it's hard to know where that end is, whereas like with a magazine, I'm looking over here, with a book or a magazine, you can hit the end and decide I'm now going to put it down. Self-control imposed, which I think is valuable. I didn't know how you felt about the speed and pace.
Yeah, no, I agree. And another thing also is that it seems like there's a lot less memorizing, right? People just used to know how to knit socks. And now it's, well, I need a pattern to knit socks. And you go and look it up, or you look up Kitchener stitch, that's a big one.
Yeah.
And people didn't have the internet, when it was knitting.
What did they do? I was not back. Yeah. No, I'm content saying, I can knit a sock without a pattern. And that's true. I don't need a pattern. However, I might want to double check on something about how I'm going to make the gusset or turn the heel or the toe decrease or something. So conceptually, I completely understand it, but I reach out for my training wheels or whatever you want to call them. I just there's only I outsource the memory.
Right, and somehow a book seems a little bit more like it's part of your knowledge, even though it's technically in the book form. It feels more
just
like
the possession aspect.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I always print out my patterns when I buy them too. Like I don't just keep them online.
No,
I am a printout paper. I have one right there.
They get all crinkled up.
Yeah, very old, and you can't even read them by the end.
Yeah, no, I don't have one nearby.
No, but you have Carveth printed somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, and I've not finished the body yet, but I've done the sleeves, and it's so torn up.
The page.
Yeah.
Okay, what else? Kind of concludes our yarn crawl binge. But I felt like we were productive and we weren't aimless with it.
No.
I'm okay buying yarn that I don't know what that I don't have a pattern for, but I like to already have a sense of what I think it ought to be. So I know to buy a cardigan's worth or wrist warmers.
Right. You don't just buy it skating and say maybe it'll be socks.
Yeah. I don't typically buy something going, it's just so pretty I want to have it. There are lots of yarns, that would be all of them.
Yeah.
That would mean I'm taking home the whole store.
Definitely.
That's what that would be. If the criteria were, do I like it? It needs to start forming in my head some idea for something. It doesn't always work out. I've got a sweater's worth of yarn somewhere in the closet that does not.
Well, like the vest that I showed in this book.
Oh, right. Good example.
I'm using yarn that you bought for a vest, actually.
Busted.
And I think it'll be the perfect yarn, but it is a bit of a reuse, if you want to say, because I never bought the yarn.
That's true. You're saving me. Thank you. We try to kind of control ourselves because we have October plans. We are going to be in Rhinebeck.
Our first Rhinebeck.
And that ties in, though, with my question about pressure and speed. Our last thought, I guess, before we wrap up. So this hashtag, the Rhinebeck sweater, or something like that, right?
Yeah, well,
I absolutely feel this total resistance to it. Like, I'm not going to knit something because I've got a deadline, because I'm going to a thing. I've never done that in my life. Like, I've never approached knitting that way, to knit for a deadline. I don't really do gifts, certainly not by a certain time or anything like that.
I know. That monkey that I've shown, I finished it now.
Was your first, I haven't right? Like pressure?
No, that's my second one.
Were you under pressure like that?
I felt, and I wanted to get it finished early so that I would make sure that I'd have it in time for the holidays, and I finished it now. We've got like more than 2-3 months. Well, you've had knitting
classes. See, I haven't had that.
Oh,
where that we're expected to come in.
That's true.
Yeah.
I wasn't as much of a knitter when I had those knitting classes, but it's true. I can't imagine that I had knitting homework. That seems so foreign.
You did.
Now,
you had to make progress, and you were expected to, and you did.
Yeah.
So I haven't had that, and so the Rhinebeck sweater, I'm not going to do that. I have knit things. I'm not knitting something for an event. I knit for myself. In the back of my head is like, come on, let's go. Maybe you'll be done in time for Rhinebeck. And then I'm like, no, don't do it. Just do it. It's a little tug of war going on.
I wonder the history of the Rhinebeck sweater now. I'm wondering, how long has it been around?
You mean the tradition of doing it for Rhinebeck? Because I saw recently a pattern that was called a Rhinebeck sweater.
Oh, yeah, there's books called Rhinebeck sweaters. Yeah.
But probably has nothing to do with Rhinebeck.
No, it does.
It does.
Yeah.
Oh, God. It's such a I don't want to do it.
But yeah, when did the tradition start?
Yeah.
It's a funny one because I haven't heard of people knitting sweaters for other events, but for Rhinebeck.
Rhinebeck sweater. Yeah.
Part of it.
So I don't know yet if I'm going to have a project that happens just by coincidence to be done by then. But we are going to go mostly because I just really want to be out there, and it seemed like what's the greatest excuse ever to go out and breathe some fresh air and be out in nature than to be with thousands?
I don't know.
Thousands, we'll say, maybe hundreds and hundreds, tens of hundreds. I don't know. That would be thousands. Hundreds and hundreds of knitters. You guys are the best. And wool everywhere. We, however, did not commit to going until a little late, so all the knitting classes were kind of closed. So we are going to Rhinebeck, and we're gonna make a bench. That's crazy. That's what we're doing.
A bench seat.
A bench seat. Yeah, we're gonna make a bench seat because darn it, we're gonna participate the hell out of Rhinebeck. But we're not going to be knitting there, but we might knit for Rhinebeck.
While we're waiting.
We just want to take it all in. Right? Yeah. We just want to take it all in.
We hear so much about it.
You hear about it. I was kind of determined that we should go because I could tell you were very like, what is it like? Yeah. We've done Vogue Knitting Live, which stunned us the first year. We really left there dazed and confused. Yeah. And I think the same will surely happen our first Rhinebeck. I expect it. The second Vogue Knitting Live, we were totally prepared. Yeah. And, we attacked.
We actually looked at the program.
Yeah, we attacked that, and that was fantastic. We should talk about that another time. Yeah. Hopefully we'll record something before Rhinebeck, but obviously after Rhinebeck we will reflect on that. Or we'll still be sitting there like, Rhinebeck stupor. Just kind of what happened.
Yeah, no, I think more than just showing like if we got anything from Rhinebeck, but just discussing the experience.
Yeah, the experience. I'll be curious about that. You can't go wrong. I'm going to be looking at everyone's stuff. That was the biggest highlight from Vogue Knitting Live, and which also I think stunned us that first time was the parade of everyone's gorgeous handmade things that
they're just wearing it.
Suddenly I'm appreciating the idea of a Rhinebeck sweater. Yes, write that value of you guys wearing what you made and seeing that. It blows you away. Like, never mind what they have on the schedule or what you can sign up for.
Yeah, I know. They had a fashion show, but really the fashion show was in the audience.
Truly. Yeah. Look to your right, look to your left, and it was, like, just the most inspiring thing. Yeah. Fantastic. Yeah. So, on that note.
That's a good note.
Yeah, that's our note. Okay. That's our note. Okay. Bye.
Show notes are in the blog.
Right. Oh, gosh. Oh, right. Yeah. WeAreTwoSheep.blogspot.com.
But we didn't show too many patterns, so it shouldn't be too heavy. Yeah,
but that's where it would be. Bye.